Welcome to WordPress for Educators, where educators come to learn WordPress. Now in this video we're going to cover something called the customize or customizer function of WordPress. Now, this is a fairly new option or feature that they rolled out in the last couple of versions of WordPress and has gained more and more popularity among theme designers, and it really does rest on the person who's creating the theme in order to give you more options to be able to change in the customizer. So I'm just going to show it to you. Let me show you first how to get there. If you're on the dashboard, you can roll over Appearance and click Customize. Or if you're on the front end of the website, you can click down here where it says Customize. So that's what we're going to do. I think for many of the functions from now on, now that you have your website created, being able to use the new dashboard is maybe a lot easier because it's going to give you easier access to some of the functions that you would normally just do when you're maintaining the site. I like the old dashboard because it gives you easier access to all of the different functions. So when you're creating a website, it's kind of nice to have access to everything, but when you're maintaining it, it's a little bit overkill. So let's go to the customizer. And what this does is it gives you a live preview of your website, but it also gives you this toolbar or sidebar over here that has some different functions. And when you change things over here, you'll see them happen in real time here. So it's kind of a what you see is what you get type of editor, as opposed to what we've been doing before, which is you have an interface, you put in your information, and then you have to go and refresh the page. Now when you make some of these edits, you don't have to go and refresh the page. So this is a nice way to visually change your website, and you can see it in real time. So this is a big upgrade for WordPress over the years. Let's start here. So custom design, because we're using WordPress.com, we don't have the ability to change everything on the website. So you're locked into certain things, even though you can change a good deal of things. But we can't go into the code, and we can't change many of the code, underlying code base. So with the custom design, which is part of the premium plan, which I believe starts at about $8.95 a month, then you can change the entire look and feel of the blog. So you can change, it says to customize the fonts a lot easier. You can apply a custom color palette, or you can get into the CSS, which controls some of the layout, and it controls all of the way that it looks and the presentation level of the website. So if you want to do that and you pay for the premium, that also gives you a domain name. So you could have yourname.info or .com or .me or whatever you wanted to use. And then you could also make more fine changes to the website itself. So that's the custom design. Site title, tagline, and logo. So this is where you can go. If you have an updated picture or a new picture, all you would need to do is to change the logo. You would click on your new image and then you insert it. So it happens very quickly. I'm going to change it back to myself. But if you wanted to change the photo of yourself or put something different there, you could do that here. You can also make easy updates and things like that. Maybe you became an assistant professor of computer science. Or just generally, if you're looking over the website and you see typos, you can make those changes very quickly here, and site title will change this part here. If you did not want to show the site title and tagline for some reason, you could click that and it would go away and only show your picture. And then once you're happy with what you have, you click Save and Publish. If you don't click Save and Publish and you try to get out of the customizer, it'll give you an error message saying if you leave, your changes won't be saved. So just know that that's going to pop up. And a couple of things about using this window. If you click collapse, then it actually makes this a full screen. It takes away the sidebar, and then you can see your changes as they happen in the fullness of the screen. To get it back, you click on the arrow. And these three buttons down here show you what it looks like. This is a desktop preview. This is what it's going to look like on a tablet, so you can see your menu. And then this is what it's going to look like on a phone. So this is your website as it will look on a phone. So you can see that this theme is responsive. And in fact, I believe all the ones that you're going to get from WordPress.com are going to be responsive themes, which means that as the screen shrinks, the information shrinks with it. It won't bleed outside the edges of the screen, the device width. All right. So let's go to our desktop size so we can see. Let's move to the next one. The next one is colors and background. I'm just going to choose one of the feature color palettes, and then you can see how it changes everything. So you can see that it's using these colors generally. This is the background color, sidebar color, probably the text color, and then the hover color or the link color. And then you click on, it could be pink or purple or kind of a light blue or a dark. Okay, so the dark is kind of nice. You can also change the background color specifically. So you could keep this sidebar dark, and then you could change the background color. Or you can go through it and you can choose your own color. So it could be maybe a nice muted color or even a darker type of color, and you can go through and you can make a change as to whatever color you want the background to be. If you well, there's also a background image, so let's try that. So select an image, and then you can actually add a background image that's going to stay fixed in the background. So let's try maybe a better one. This one's a very tall one of me, which would be weird, but you can see that using a portrait size where this side is longer than the top and bottom would actually give you a little bit better picture in the background. So we have the position, we can choose the middle to the right. We can choose to repeat. So when we have this, you can see that the picture stops here and then it starts again. So it repeats to fill the space. You could do no repeat, and then there's nothing out here. You can choose for it to repeat horizontally like it does. You can choose for it to repeat vertically. So if we were to have a screen that was really showing all of the website and it continued down, we would see that. Or you can choose to tile, so it repeats this way and this way. Repeat is good for usually for if you're trying to do a texture or you're trying to do something that like a little icon that just kind of is row after row after row in the background. That's a good thing to do. But otherwise, for regular images like this, if you just choose a large image, then it would give you a nice background to it. So underlying color, not exactly sure about that. I think that's just the color that's, if it were a small image like this and you did no repeat, then you would see the color come underneath it. So that's what this color is. And then you can do fixed position or not. So that is the background. I want to change that. I don't want to do any of those things. I want to go back to the default color scheme, and so I would click this to go all the way back to the default colors. So that is colors and backgrounds. And then you can also change your font. Now the font is how the text looks. So we have fonts for headings, and we have fonts for the base font. Now the base font is going to be your base text. Headings are going to be, they're going to affect things like this when we had the H tags, the heading tags, and it's going to affect over here as well. So if we change, you have a limited selection of fonts here. These are all from Google. And there are a number of different fonts that you can choose. Some really good ones. I like Aramo, and you can see how it changes the look and the feel of the website. And then with this, you can do some different, excuse me, you can do some different styles. You can do italic or bold, or you could do bold and italic. Or you can choose to go back to regular. You can also choose a size. So you could do tiny, small, normal, large, or huge. So kind of a huge is a little bit of a different look. It just depends on what you envision in your mind and what you want to do. But see how it changes here and here. And then the base font, let's go with a nice, maybe Laura. And then you can choose here whether you want it to be tiny, which would be very difficult to read, or normal, or large, or huge. So you have a few different options here. For the most part, these themes are meant to be seen at normal. They've chosen these ranges for a reason. And so I would mostly stick with that. But if you did want to make a change to the font, so you can make it a sans serif font, or this is a nice little clean font. It's called Source Sans Pro. That's good for text. And another one good for text would be Leto. It's a little bit taller, you can see. And then Open Sans is kind of a classic text font for reading online. So you can make some choices to that. I'll just save that. Now the header image, it says it's applied to the header on small screens and then to the sidebar on larger screens. While you can crop the images to your liking after clicking Add New Image, your theme recommends a header size of 954 pixels by 1300. So this is 954 wide by 1300 tall. So we're going to add a new image, and we'll just see how this works. So you select the image, select and crop, and then you can see that it gives those dimensions right here. So we're just going to crop to here, I guess. And then on this larger screen, you're going to see it shows up here. So now we have our image in the background. And you can see when we go to a smaller size that the image shows up at the top. Same thing on a phone. Okay. And you can choose to hide the image, or you can choose to delete the image. Okay. Next is our menus. If you wanted to change the order very quickly on your menus, you can choose where menus go. So there's another menu right here that's available called the social links menu. So if you make the social links available, they'll show up there. And if you just do select, it goes away. That's the menu location, so where they are on the page. Now, the primary menu is the menu that we set here. That's the same as going to appearance and menus like we've been doing, except you can actually control the menu right here, and it'll show you how it changes in real time. You have the same options if you want to change some of the labeling. You could put About Me, and then it shows up. So you can actually make some of those changes. You could change the name here, or you could add more menu items. If you had another page that you wanted to add, all you have to do is click, and then it shows up here, and then you could actually do that. So if you wanted to add a home link, again, that's going to take you right back to this page here. So I felt like it was a little superfluous to have a home link. And in that case, you would just remove the link. So now our menu is back to the way it was. And then as we get back out to, we have a couple more parts. You can change widgets. Now, a widget is something that shows up in your sidebar. Let's see, archives, this would be a good one. Now, this shows up in your sidebar, and it's a way for people to navigate through your website, or you can put plain text here. You can do a number of different things. You have lots of different widget options here. You could put stats for your website, or if you have blog categories that you want people to be able to get to very quickly, you could add a list of categories. You've already added the categories to your post, so it pulls that in and creates a list. So when someone clicks that category, it shows only the blog posts in that list. You could do your contact information, which might be helpful for you in this instance. So let's take a look at that. So it shows here, let's say we don't want to show the map. And so now maybe here are your hours and information. So if you're using this for students, or you're using this for people to be able to contact you, you could put your office address, your office phone. You could have, excuse me, you could have your hours listed here. And then after that's finished, you would just click Save and Publish. And then now when someone's visiting your website, they can actually see, they can scroll down, they can see your hours and your information, so that maybe students can know when your office hours and things like that are. Let's go out. You can play around with that and just check out each one of those widgets to see what they do and how they show up, and you can tinker with some of the settings as well. And the last part is to select a static front page. Now, we did that by going to settings and reading, but you can also do that in the customizer. So if you instead wanted to set your CV as the front page, then when someone comes to your WordPress website for the first time, this is what they'll see. They'll see your CV. Right now we have that set to the About page. If for some reason you wanted to change your posts, your post page, your blog post page, you could do that as well. Or if you just wanted to go back to the front page displaying your latest posts, then when someone comes to your website, they get your latest posts, and then they have the ability to click through all of your pages here. So we'll just set it back to a static page, and then we'll click Save and Publish. And so each theme, depending on which one you use, is going to have a few different options here, and maybe a few different options inside of these options, even if they're the same ones, because the theme is what controls these options here. So when you get a new theme, open it up in the customizer, see what kinds of things you have available to just make changes very quickly to the look, the feel of the website. Again, your underlying content is not going to change, but as you change the theme, it's going to change the layout and sometimes just the look and the options for fonts or colors and that type of thing for your website. So that is using the customize function. And when you're finished, you just click the X and it brings you right back out to your website. Now, if you have any questions or comments about the customize function, you can send me a tweet at Brian Haferkamp, BrianHaferkamp, or you can email me at brian@highwaywebconsulting.com, or feel free to leave a comment down in the comments in this YouTube video. Well, our website is looking great. I think at this point you have enough to be able to create a website, a personal website that helps you to create a brand for yourself if that's what you're doing, or just to be able to tell people who you are, what you're doing, and how you can get a hold of you through contact information, either an email or giving you a call, or sometimes even if you have this down in your sidebar, you have your actual contact information at your school. I'll continue to create more videos showing you how to use WordPress in a more advanced way and how to add some different things, and a little bit more specifically what the different parts of WordPress are. But this is going to end our tutorial about creating a personal website for yourself. Please share it. Share it on YouTube, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. And if you know of any professors or teachers or administrators who could use this type of website, which I think everyone needs to have one, then please share that with your social circles. I'd be very appreciative. And thanks for watching through the tutorial. If you missed some of them, this is in a playlist, so go back and you can run these at your own speed and go through them in your own time. But thanks again for watching. This has been WordPress for Educators, and continue to subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos about how to use WordPress in a more full way.